Good evening, everyone. This is BremSter, and today I have yet another puzzle. What a surprise. So it's now been 24 hours for all of you since March of the Quads was dropped, and I'm hoping some of you have had a look at it. There will be a link to March of the Quads below for those of you who have not yet looked at the pack, where you can jump to a public post on my Patreon page and grab a copy of the pack. There'll be an alternate download link there as well, but there'll be some more information, thanking all of the people who helped create it and everything on my Patreon page. It is a free post. You do not need to be a paid Patreon supporter of mine in order to grab the pack. All of the packs and stuff that I release and have so far are public posts. So, yes, hopefully March of the Quads is going down well. Hopefully people are enjoying the puzzles. I don't know yet because at time of recording it has not yet landed. If you are a viewer of my channel and you would like to be in for a prize for March of the Quads and to get your name mentioned at the end of the month, each puzzle has a solution code, which is row 3 of the puzzle. And if you get together a bunch of row 3s by the end of the month and send them to me, then I will put you in an entry for this month's prize at the end of the month. What that is yet, I'm still locking down, but I will come up with something, I hope. So yes, and people who submit correct entries, as I said, there will be a call out based on something. But that will happen in some form or another. I tend to do this channel by winging it. You may have kind of noticed. But the March of the Quads. I keep doing that. March of the Quads came from being involved in a group of collaborative setters, Skunkworks, and one of the nice things about hanging out on Skunkworks is I logged on today and there were a bunch of people making puzzles, including in when and I saw the end of a test of a puzzle, and at the end people would like saying this puzzle's really cool, and I went, I like cool puzzles. Can I do a cool puzzle? And I was given permission to do this puzzle, Barely a Whisper, on my channel. I'm probably going to be doing quite a few puzzles I get from this because I currently have very limited time in my life to be hunting for puzzles and everything. If you wish to see puzzles from other locations, then please contact me, send me puzzles that you've seen. But at the moment, I am taking puzzles where I can find them and recording time where I can get it. So there may be gaps this month because I am so pressed for time. So I'm going to try and do what I can. But when I see a cool puzzle and people come and say, this is a cool puzzle, I'm just going to take that opportunity. So let's have a look at this cool puzzle. This is Barely a Whisper by Eclectic Hoosier and Riffclown. I think a Hoosier, I'm from Australia. I think a Hoosier is something to do with one of the US states. I've heard this term before and I don't know which one. And I don't want to say in case I get it wrong. Yeah, it's some sort of local person in the US and I don't know which. So yeah. So this is Barely a Whisper. And it is a Sudoku grid with 3 other rules. So in Sudoku rules, in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Non-consecutive. Digits in adjacent cells, so orthogonally adjacent digits, may not be consecutive. That's always an easy one to forget because there's no visual clue in the grid to remind you. These are whisper lines, so on whisper lines, adjacent digits must have a difference of at least 5, which is a little more than a non-consecutive, I suppose. They also can't be different by 1. So what that means is along these green lines, each digit will have to be the difference will have to jump by at least 5. The most obvious thing with this is you can never put a 5 on a whisper line, because if you do, the 5 difference going up is 10, not between 1 and 9, and the 5 difference going down is 0. So there's other pressures as well, but that's the most obvious. Clues outside the grid, there are 2 of them, are the sum of the digits along the indicated diagonal, which are these sum to 17 and these sum to 14. And that's what we've got. So let's give this a shot. So we've got no given digits to play with the non-consecutive. We have 17 is not a great little killer. 14 is not too bad. 14 can be 9, 5, or 8, 6. But being diagonal, it's not giving us much on the non-consecutive rule. So whispers. I normally start with whispers. Oh, row 1. That row 1. Where can I put 5 in row 1? So 5 cannot go on a whisper line. All of those are on whisper lines. I get a 5, which means that's not a 5, which means that's not a 9. Okay. So the other constraints on whisper lines are 4s and 6s, because you can never put a 4 or a 6 in the middle of a whisper line, because you can never put a 4 or 6 in the middle of a straight whisper line or a whisper line where they all see each other. And the reason for that is because the only digits that are, there's only one digit that's 5 away from a 4 or a 6. A 4 can only go next to a 9, and a 6 can only go next to a 1. So if I was to put a 4 here, I would have to put 2 9s on either side. So 4s and 6s can only go at the ends of lines. But this is consecutive to both 4 and 6. So this is a 4-6 pair. 4 and 6, for the reasons I just described, have to go next to 1 and 9. That's very clever. Even more clever, this is a 1-9 on a 17 clue. This has to be a 7. I normally don't like a little killer, but that is possibly the best use of a little killer I have ever seen. That's so cool. So I cannot put, well, the 6 is already there, but I cannot put an 8 into either of these cells because it would be consecutive with the 7. So 8 goes into those. What else am I missing? 5 can't go on a whisper line, so 5 is in one of those two. Oh, wait, 8 is better. One of those is a 9, so that can't be an 8. This is an 8. So what are these cells? These are 2, 3, and 5. Okay. But this can't be a 5 because it's on the whisper line. Right. Hang on. One of these is a 1. This can't be a 2. Okay. This is a 4 or a 6. I can't put a 5 next to a 4 or a 6 for the same reason I couldn't over here. This is not the 5. This is a 2, 3 pair. This is the 5. Now, let's start colouring because this is a whispers puzzle. These are high. Actually, I've been meaning to practice my colouring using my keyboard shortcuts rather than using the numeric keypad because it'll be faster. This needs to be low, but it'll only be faster once I've gotten used to it. So let's try and get used to it. So, is there anything more I can determine here? Is there anything more I can determine up here? This is 8. This now needs to be high. It can't be 6. So this is 7, 8, 9. One of these is 2. So this can't be a 1. If I put a 1 here, I couldn't put a 2 into either of those. This is a 9, which is high. Sorry, I will get used to that. Once this is 9, has to be the 4 because this becomes the 1, which is low. Then this is the 6, which is high. This is the 4, which is low. This is, of course, low. And I get it down to this. This is not a 9. Oops, I'm in the wrong mode. This is not a 9. 4 is consecutive with 3. This is 2, this is 3. Once this is a 3, this can't be a 7. This is an 8. And this is a 1, 2, 3, and it can't be a 1. This is a 2 or a 3. That's very clever. Now, I know that this is low and this is low. These are high. So these three cells are 7, 8, and 9, and these two are 2 and 3. That has to be next to a 3, so it can't be a 7, because there'll be a 3 on one side of it or the other. So, can I do anything more down here? So, 5 has to go in one of those. 5 has to go in one of those. All of my lows are taken up down here. So I need to put a 1 and a 3 on that line. This is bad pencil marking, because it doesn't force this, because the 3 could be down here. So this pencil marking is for the line. I'm saying it out loud to remind myself. Actually, there's a few things going on here. 4 is in one of those. Actually, no. 4 can't be there. 4 can't be there. 4 is in one of those. 6. Okay. 7 is in one of those. That can't be 6, 7, 8, or 9. This is actually quite restricted, because 6 is consecutive, 7 is seen, 8 is seen, 9 is seen. Can't be 1, 2, 3. This is a 5, because all of the lows are taken up, and it is either consecutive to or seen by all of the highs. This has to be the 5. So this now has to be high. So this is going to be 6, 8, or 9. So the 5 isn't in here. 5 is down here. Don't know how that helps me. Eight is down here. So 8 is in one of those 3. Eight is in one of those 3. Can't put 6 there, but I can put... Hang on, I can't put 6 there. And I can't put 6 in the middle of the line. 6 is in one of those 2. Which means 6 is in one of those 2. And I can't put 6 there because... No, I can put 6 there. I could do 6, 1. Which would push 1 down here. I can put 6 here. But I can't put 7 in here anymore. I can't put 7 in here anymore. Because if I put 7 in either of those cells, then it'll be next to the 6, which has to go in one of those 2 cells. Because 6 has to go down here because it can't be placed on the whisper line. So 7 cannot go here, 7 can't go here. 7 is in one of those 2, and it can't go next to the 8. That is a 7, which makes it high. This now has to be low, which means it's not 6. This is the 6, which makes it high. This is now 2, oops, I'm in the wrong mode, 2, 3, or 4. And 3 or 4 can't go get to 7. This is the 2. This is the 3. This takes 3 out of those. This is 368 because I know 8 goes down here. Yeah, 368. 368, 368. This is a 368 triple. There's no 1 in here. There's no 9 down here. This is 368. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 9. So this is a 4, which is low. And they're not consecutive with anything. And these aren't either. But these are triples now. 1, wrong mode, 1, 2, and 5. Well, I can't have the 1 and 2 together, so the 5 has to go in the middle. So this is a 1-2 pair here. So these are both low. And these are 4, 7, and 9. Well, I can't put 4 in the middle, so that is a high digit. This is not 6 because it can't go next to 5. I've got to be able to get more out of this, don't I? Don't run dry. That was gorgeous. I don't know the order of this. Oh, I can't put 6 in the middle of the line. This is the 6. This is a 3-8. This is a 6. This is a 1-9. That takes 6 out of there, which takes 8 out of there. I just had a horrible feeling I wasn't recording. I can't see anything more I can do there. Okay, so I need to jump to other places in the grid, and I don't see much. I really don't see much. So there's not enough up here for me to start building stuff. All I've really got is this. So this is either 9-5 or 6-8. If this is 6-8, I've got the same thing I've got here, surely. This couldn't be 6, 7, 8, or 9 and would have to be low. Okay, so this would have to be low if this is 6-8. What if this is 9-5? If this is 9-5, this couldn't be 9, couldn't be 8. 9 would make that 7, so this couldn't be 7. And it couldn't be 6 because that would be 5. And wow, that's really clever. That's another amazing little killer clue. This must be low because if this is 9-5, can't put 9 or 8 because of the 9, can't put 7 because of that 7-9, and I can't put 6 because of the 5. This is a low clue, which means this is low, this is high, and this is high. So what does that get me though? That gets me almost nothing. This is 7, 8, 9. That's completely unrestricted. Sorry, I'm having to keep an eye on Discord. There's a minor family emergency going on, and every time I see a message pop up, I make sure it's not my father. Um, Minor family emergency. It's a family emergency going on. Um, how does that help? So now I need to put 5 down here. 9. None of these provide enough restrictions over here, I don't think. So this is 1, 3, or 4. This can be anything, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And this can be anything, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Five is in one of those. That's about the only restriction I'm seeing anywhere. Five is in... Well, 5 is in one of those two. This 5 sees that 5 sees that, and all the other cells are whisper lines. 5 is in one of those two. This is an 8. This is not an 8. So this is now high. There must be a high digit on here. Oh, this is not 8. There must be a high digit on here, which is either 6, 7, or 9. 5 is in here. Hang on, this is an 8. So this is a 6. This is not a 6. So I know there must be a high digit in here, and there's a 7, 9 pair. There must be a 6 in here. And if the 6 is here, this is a 1. And if the 6 is here, this is a 1. So this is a 1, 6 pair. Bonkers. So if this is 1, 6, this has to be low. No, this has to be 1. If that's a 6, this is flat out 1. If this is 6, 1, this has to be high and has to be 7 or 9. This is a 1, a 7, or a 9. There's nothing else this cell can be. But this isn't a 1 anymore because the 1 must be in here. Bonkers. Five can't go down here anymore or here. 5 is in one of these two. Which means 4 is in one of those. What are these? That's now 2, 3, 4, 5. This can't be 2 or 5, so this is a 3 or a 4. I can't put a 4 in either of those because one of those has to be a 5. This can't be a 2. But that can be any of them. The way these all work off each other is insanely clever, but wow. So that can't be a 4. If that was a 4, this would not be able to be 3 or 5. This is not a 4. This is a 1 or a 3. So that doesn't provide any whisper restriction, though. Where am I looking? Six in this box has to go in one of those two. So 6 is either in those two or that one, which puts 6 down here. I don't know that that does anything, though. 8 in this box, though, does. I can't put 8 up here. I can't put 8. 8 is in one of those two. Well, that's not done anything either. 5 is in here. 2 has to be in one of those 3. 3 is down here. Or here. What am I missing? 4 is there. 4 is in one of those two spots. Because 4 is taken out of those, and 4 is not listed any of those. So 4 is in one of those two spots. Except that is a 3-5. That cannot be a 4. This right there is a 4. This is a 6. This is a 1. This is a 1. And colouring low, low, high, and low. This is no longer a 5 because of next to 6. So this becomes the 5. This is a 3 because of the 1 in the box. This is a 2, which makes it low. These are 7, 8, and 9, which make them high. This is not a 7. Hang on, you can't put the 8 and 9 together. This has to be a 7. This is a 3, which goes with the 8 and 9. This can't be a 7 anymore because you can't put a 7 next to a 3 on a whisper line. This is a 9, which allows that to be anything. Except it's not a 2 because there's a 2 in the column. Bonkers. This is now low. This 3 resolves this. This is 2, which means this is 3, which means this is not 7. This is the 7, which I could have gotten from the column. So 3 is in one of those two cells, but if I put 3 there, that would be a 4 and that's broken. This has to be the 3. This has to be the 4. That's very cool. So these are now a quad. 4, 6, 8, and 9. Now, I can't put the 4 next to the 5. I can't put the 8 and 9 together in either column. I can't put the 8 down here. Surely that means I can't put the 9 up here. The 8 is up here. I'm not sure. Can't put 4 here. Can't put 6 here. This is an 8 because of the 9 looking at it. This is an 8, and I take 8 out of here. So this is a 6, 9. This becomes a 4. So this is high. This is low. This is a 6, 9 pair, which means this is an 8 and this is a 9. This is now a pair, which is 2 and 3, which are both low. This is now a known triple. 1, 5, and 7. And there's no 5 in the middle. There's no 7 at the bottom because it's next to an 8. Now, has any of this looked over? This is not a 9 anymore. Yes, this 9 looks over. This is a 1, so it's low. This becomes low and 3. This becomes high. This becomes high. This becomes the 9, and this becomes the 8. And that all works by the whisper line. But that doesn't actually see anything. Which is, oh, that 9 looks over. This, first of all, these are both high, but the 9 in box 3 looks over, making that 6 and that a 9. Okay, these are now triples. 1, 4, and 7. Can't put a 4 there because it would be next to a 5. Can't put a 4 there, it would be next to a 3. This becomes a 4 and low. And I'm not seeing that. This is 2, 5, and 6. So I can take the 5 out of all of those. Can't put a 5 next to a 4. That is not yet helpful. Something better resolve this. This is 2, 7, and 9. I can't put 2 next to the 3, so this becomes high. What am I missing? I feel I'm missing something. Let's keep going. It'll all come clear, I'm sure. 1, 3, and 5. I can't put 5 next to 6. So this becomes low. Okay, let's do this last triple and hope. 4, 6, and 8. This can't be 4, so this becomes high. Is there a consecutive thing I'm missing here? Or just something pointing? I can't put the 5 and 6 together. I have to keep the 5 and the 6 apart. If I made this 2, this would be 5, 6, and they would be consecutive. This has to be the 2. That's what I was missing. This is the 6 and this is the 5. So this is low and this is high. This being a 2 means this is not a 2. This is a 2, which makes it low. This becomes high. That's what I was missing. This being a 2 means this can't be a 1 or a 3. This becomes the 5. This is not a... Whoops. This is not a 5. This is a 1 or a 3, which makes it low. This can't be a 6 now because it's next to a 5. This becomes the 8. There is no 8 in those. What does that interact with? This 8 looks up, making that a 9 and that an 8. The 8 means this is a 1 and this is a 7. The 1 is low, the 7 is high. This makes this 9 and 7. This is 3 and 1. The 3 can't go next to 4. This is 6 and 4. This is glorious. low. I'm struggling with, I'm trying to do the coloring with keyboard shortcuts, but it is taking some practice. So, sorry about that, everyone. I actually did get a message from my father and I had to check what it was. It wasn't actually an emergency, but in a situation where things are happening, you always stop and check. So, where was I up to? I'd just been working down these columns, so I've now got these triples. So, we have these are 1, 3, and 7. I can't put 7 next to 8, so this is low. I can't we put in here 5, 8, and 6. Can't put 5 next to this, so this becomes high. Yep, and this is 2, 4, and 9. That so that's a 4. That okay. So that's low. That's a 4, which makes that low. This is not a 4. 1, 2, 3. So this is 9. This is not 9. This is now 6. Sorry, this is high. These are not 6. Your flow is always ruined when you are trying to solve. There's 1, 2, 3, so this is not 1. This. Wait, I've got. Hang on, how did I get 2 9s in the row? So this became 4, which took 4 out of there. So this became 2 9. There's a 1, 2, 3. So there's a. What have I done wrong? When did I take 7 out of that and why? Why can't that be 7? Did I misclick when I meant to remove a 9 from here and remove a 7 instead? Because this was a 4, 7, 9 triple. Is that supposed to be 4, 7 instead of 4, 9? Because I can't see why that can't be 7. Because this is clearly a 4, 7, 9 triple, but that can't be 9 because of that. That can't be 4 because of that, and that can be any of them. So that could never have been 9 since I got that, but that could have been 7. Why can't that be 7? I'm going to change this to a 4. So I'm going to restore that triple, and then I'm going to solve from there. I think I made a misclick when I removed the 7 from here instead of the 9. So I can now remove a 9 from here. I've still got the 1, 2, 3, which makes this a 4, which is low. Which makes this a 7, which is high. I think that's correct. This is now 4, which is low. This is not 4. This is not 4. This is 2, which is low. This is 9, which is high. This is not 8. This is not 5. So this is 5 because of the 5 over here. 6 can't be next to 5. So this is 8, which is high. This is 6. This is not 7 because of the 7 over here. There's a 1, 2, 3. This is the 5. So this is a 1, which is low. This is high and 7. This now sees 3 and 7. So it becomes 1, 3, and 7. This is high. This is low. That's the wrong button. I need to make this low. This 3 makes this 2, which makes this 1, which makes this 2, which makes this 3, and that completes the puzzle. I obviously made a mistake when I removed a 7 from here instead of removing a 9. Those little mistakes can come back and bite you. But I think that's the correct solution to Barely a Whisper by Eclectic Hoosier and Riffclown. Apart from the nearly goofed ending, which was just some non-consecutive down here, the stuff around all of these whisper line non-consecutive interactions was absolutely stunning. That was an amazing puzzle. Just phenomenal. And normally I don't like little killers, but the way that these just gave you beautiful digits, and this was very restricted and just very the stuff on this where both options forced that to be low was great. And then of course I felt like it didn't give me anything, but it did. That was just great. This 6-1 pair. Wow. What a good puzzle. Just, I can't believe I made that mistake. That almost bit me. I need to go and go help my father with some stuff. Thank you, everyone, very much for watching. I hope you've been enjoying and continue to enjoy March of the Quads, which will be such a long march. It will continue into April. Remember, if you want to submit, I'll repeat it at the end of the month, row 3s. Yep, that's what I need. Thank you, everyone, and good luck with your solving.